Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Great Tundra Nature Documentary. I am your host, Landon Dean, and today I'm going to be teaching you the wonders of the tundra. Now, first we shall speak of its mildly interesting climate. And by mildly interesting, I mean nearly identical most of the year. For most of the time, it is a cold, windy, and forbearing place where most human organisms cannot survive without extreme protection. Humans aren't really meant to survive in negative 30-degree weather. But they're mainly treeless, found in the northern Arctic. If you look on a map, you would probably I had a map to point it out. You would probably see, as in the clip, the highlighted parts in the northernmost regions, northern Russia, northern parts of Siberia, the Norwegian North, most of coastal Greenland, nearly all of Iceland, and the northern parts of Canada. Now, the average precipitation, 150 millimeters to 250 millimeters of precipitation per year. Now, the average temperature ranges from negative 30 degrees to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, which is quite cold. You might not know this, but if you go below around, at least for us here in Florida, around below 30 degrees, things don't tend to do so well. Our unique characteristics? It's the coldest biome. It also has something called a permafrost, a thick subsurface of soil that remains frozen throughout the year, and occurs chiefly in the polar regions, mainly the further north. They are largely treeless due to lack of easy access to nutritional soil because of permafrost, which goes down 1,476 feet. And it has similar precipitation to most deserts. Fun fact. So we're going to talk now about some of the plants and adaptations. So Arctic moss. Arctic moss has adapted well to its climate. It grows low to the ground in order to counter the fierce, harsh winds of the tundra. And the diamond leaf willow. It has adapted to be able to grow close to many marshes in the tundra. Another thing the tundra has, many bogs and marshes due to decaying everything. And it allows easy access to nutrients, and it also has adapted to grow low and survive harsh winds. Now, animals and adaptations. The Arctic fox, a majestic creature. The rounded body shape reduces the amount of surface area exposed to the cold air, and the compact ears, muzzle, and legs, as shown on screen, easily conserve body heat. And the musk ox, something you probably haven't heard of. The outer hairs of this musk ox covers a second, even shorter coat of hair that provides insulation in the winter. Something us normal humans can't do. I say us, I can do it perfectly fine. I am, in fact, the narrator, therefore I control this world. Now we're going to talk about the human impact on the tundra. And quite frankly, it's a very sad thing. It's been very impacted by climate change. It's highly vulnerable to these environmental stresses, like reduced snow cover and warmer temperatures, both things that have been increased by global warming. Now, the climate change impact on tundras. So the Arctic tundra, it's changing dramatically. It hasn't changed that dramatically yet, but it has. It's changed. Some things have changed dramatically, but not everything. It's a term that falls within a wider range of trends now prefer to call climate change. So the impacts in the region are broad, and they're somewhat unpredictable. But animals that are typically found further south, such as the red fox, are moving north into the tundra due to climate change warming the northern parts up, and it now competes with our good friend the Arctic fox for food and territory. and the long-term impact is still unknown. Now, the other denizens of the tundra, things we haven't covered, such as the wolf spider, they grow bigger and they thrive. However, shrubs get taller. They contribute to the declines in sensitive groups of lichen, which are necessary and are a great food source for the caribou and the other species. And lakes and ponds, what little there were, are evaporating or gone. They're draining. And then the permafrost. The entire reason you'd probably want to visit the tundra, because, to be honest, why would you? Uh, it's deteriorating because of the global warming. Now, it's a layer of frozen soil, dead plants, and it goes, as I said, 1,476 feet, 450 meters for our European viewers, below the surface. In much of the Arctic, it is frozen year-round. And in the south, the surface layer does tend to melt, only the top part of it, though. Then this creates the bogs and the lakes that allow for animal life to explode. And insects swarm around, and millions of birds come and feed. However, with global warming, the freezing of them back in the fall comes later, and in some places not at all. So more and more of it melts in the southern Arctic. And this causes things like shrubs and spruce trees, magnificent spruce trees, to take root, and they alter the habitat of the native animals.